The year was 1887, a time when the world was still shrouded in mystery and the unexplored corners of the earth held secrets yet to be uncovered. Deep in the untamed wilderness of Wexford County, Michigan, where the trees stood tall and the shadows seemed to whisper ancient tales, a group of lumberjacks, hardened by their daily toil, stumbled upon a sight that would forever be etched into local legend. They were men of grit and determination, used to the harshness of the wild, but nothing could have prepared them for what they were about to encounter. As they toiled under the dense canopy, the air thick with the scent of pine and earth, a chilling sound pierced the air, a high-pitched howl, unlike any creature known to man. It was a sound that seemed to come from the very depths of the forest, echoing through the trees and sending a shiver down their spines. Their eyes darted towards the source, and there, standing at the edge of the forest, was a creature that defied explanation. It was as if the shadows themselves had come to life, taking on a form that was both familiar and utterly alien. It was tall and powerfully built, covered in dark fur with the unmistakable silhouette of a wolf, yet it stood upright on two legs like a man. Its presence was both terrifying and mesmerizing, a living nightmare that seemed to blur the line between reality and myth. Panic gripped the lumberjacks as the creature locked eyes with them for a fleeting moment, its yellow gaze piercing the twilight before it vanished into the undergrowth. The encounter was so brief, yet it felt like an eternity, leaving them with a sense of dread that would haunt them for the rest of their lives. The encounter sent shivers down their spines, and the tale of the beast they called the Dogman spread like wildfire through the logging camps and settlements. Around campfires, in hushed whispers, the story grew, each retelling adding new layers of fear and fascination. This chilling tale marked the beginning of an enduring mystery, one that would continue to haunt the vast forests and rural communities of Michigan for over a century. The legend of the Dogman became a part of the local folklore, a story passed down through generations, each adding their own embellishments and interpretations. Whatever they had witnessed, it left an indelible mark on the collective consciousness of those who dared to venture into the wilderness, a haunting reminder that some secrets are best left undisturbed. The forest, once a place of work and survival, now held an air of mystery and danger, a place where the unknown lurked just beyond the next tree. But the story of the Dogman was far from over. As the years passed, sightings continued, each one adding to the legend and deepening the mystery. The Dogman became a symbol of the unknown, a reminder that even in the modern world, there are still mysteries that defy explanation. Decades later, in the spring of 1937, the legend of the Dogman resurfaced with a vengeance. The quiet town of Paris, Michigan, was about to be shaken by an encounter that would be talked about for generations. Robert Fortney, a farmer in Paris, Michigan, awoke to a commotion in his barnyard. The sounds were unlike anything he had ever heard before, a mix of growls and the frantic bleating of his livestock. As he peered out his window, his blood ran cold. The moonlight cast eerie shadows, but there was no mistaking the hulking figure among his animals. There, amidst his terrified livestock, stood the creature described in hushed tones by those who claimed to have crossed its path. The animals were in a frenzy, their eyes wide with fear as the beast loomed over them. Fortney, a man known for his level-headedness, was shaken to his core. He had heard the stories, but seeing the creature with his own eyes was a different matter entirely. He described the creature as being about 7 feet tall, covered in dark, shaggy fur, with piercing yellow eyes that seemed to burn with an eerie intelligence. Its presence was both terrifying and mesmerizing. It moved with a disconcerting agility, its long, powerful legs carrying it across the farmyard with a speed and grace that belied its size. Fortney could hardly believe his eyes as the creature darted from one shadow to the next. As quickly as it had appeared, the creature vanished back into the night, leaving behind a trail of fear and unanswered questions. The farmyard fell silent once more, but the sense of dread lingered. Fortney's account, detailed and chilling, breathed new life into the legend of the Dogman, sparking a wave of fear and fascination across the region. Newspapers picked up the story, and soon everyone in the area was talking about the mysterious creature that had visited the Fortney farm. The legend of the Dogman was no longer just a tale whispered around campfires. It had become a part of local history. The 1950s saw a surge in reported sightings of the Dogman, particularly in Allegan County, Michigan. This period was marked by an eerie atmosphere that seemed to permeate the very air, as if the land itself was whispering secrets of the unknown. In this rural county, whispers of the creature became as ingrained in the local culture as the rustling leaves and the calls of owls. The Dogman was not just a fleeting rumor, it was a constant presence in the minds of the people, a shadow that loomed over their daily lives. Farmers reported seeing it lurking in their fields, its eyes glowing menacingly in the moonlight. These sightings were often accompanied by strange noises, unearthly growls that sent shivers down the spines of even the bravest souls. Motorists claimed to have caught fleeting glimpses of it darting across deserted roads, its long strides eating up the pavement with impossible speed. These encounters were brief, but left an indelible mark on those who experienced them, a haunting memory that refused to fade. Children were warned to stay close to home at night, lest they encounter the creature that was said to roam the woods, its eerie howls echoing through the trees. Parents would tell their children stories of the Dogman, not just as a cautionary tale, but as a very real threat that lurked in the shadows. The reports varied in detail, but one common thread ran through them all, an overwhelming sense of terror, a primal fear that spoke to the creature's unsettling presence. This fear was not just confined to the night, it seeped into the daylight hours, casting a pall over the community. The Dogman, it seemed, had become more than just a campfire story. It was a legend that had taken on a life of its own, a spectre that haunted the collective consciousness of Allegan County. People would gather around campfires, sharing their encounters and adding to the ever-growing lore. It had become a palpable presence in the lives of those who lived and worked in the shadow of its legend. The Dogman was not just a myth. It was a part of the very fabric of the community, a dark thread woven into the tapestry of their everyday existence. As the years passed, sightings of the Dogman continued to be reported, stretching from the Lower Peninsula all the way north to the Upper Peninsula. In 1967, a rash of reports came from the Manistee and Cross Village areas, further cementing the creature's place in Michigan folklore. Witnesses described encounters with a large wolf-like being that walked on two legs, its eyes glowing ominously in the dark. Some dismissed these accounts as the products of overactive imaginations or misidentified animals, but for those who claimed to have come face-to-face with the Dogman, the experience was all too real. They spoke of a creature that inspired primal fear, a being that seemed to exist on the fringes of our understanding, defying categorization and fueling speculation.